Ever wish you could read minds? As marketers in the B2B space, we're often challenged to connect with people who think very differently from us. Very differently. I'm talking about engineers. That isn't to say engineers aren't creative. Quite the opposite, actually. But marketing to this subset of the B2B audience can be tricky. There are a lot of misconceptions out there that can lead to communication problems, not to mention wasted marketing budgets. So how do you market to engineers? And what do we think they're thinking that they're not really thinking? Misconception number 1. Engineers think inside the box, so don't push the envelope. Remember when I said that engineers are more creative than we think? They're inherent problem solvers, capable of almost inhuman levels of concentration. They like new ideas just as much, if not more than, the next person. So don't be afraid to use creative messages. Just remember to back things up with real data and solid rationale. Misconception number 2. Engineers know it all, so don't bore them with facts. Sure, engineers might be brainiac smart, but what really makes them successful is that they never stop learning. They're information sponges. So work with your subject matter experts to create content they want to absorb. Facts are okay, as long as they prove something. Ideally, that your product is the right solution. Misconception number 3. Engineers are wired in, so you can switch off the print media. You're not wrong. The engineer in your life is probably carrying a smartphone in their pocket while taking notes on their tablet and checking messages on their smartwatch. But they also appreciate efficient, straightforward communication, the kind they get from talking to other engineers, visiting vendor websites, and reading trade publications. The key for marketers is to find out where engineers in your industry hang out, then use those channels to get their attention. Misconception number 4. Engineers think they're smarter than anyone else in the room, so appeal to their thirst for innovation. We're all on the same page here. Innovation's important, but given the choice between a far-out futuristic idea and a tried-and-true solution, engineers are going to pick the latter. Launching tons of new products won't impress them, as much as offering a robust solution to a real problem. Backed by tangible results, of course. Misconception number 5. Engineers are loners, so don't expect them to connect on social media. Well, first of all, that's just kind of mean. I think a lot of us see engineers and think, man, they're always in their own little world. And they are sometimes, but they also attend trade shows, collaborate across disciplines, and yes, they use social media. They may not post to their Insta story regularly, but they will give you their time and attention, as long as you don't waste it. So don't shy away from social, just make your content relevant. And finally, misconception number 6. Engineers are wound up too tight, so my fun idea will help them unwind. Engineers face a lot of time and cost pressure at work. And you're right, they probably could use a week-long spa vacation to some Caribbean island. Still, their definition of fun can be a little different from yours. They'll catch on to marketing ploys and sales pitches immediately. So make sure your fun idea is actually adding value to their everyday life. And that's it! Once we get past our own misconceptions, there's a lot we can learn about how engineers tend to think. It's not mind-reading, but it helps. If you want to see the study that backs up what I've said, I'm looking at you, engineers. You can check it out at the link in the video description. Happy marketing!